Hey everybody, this is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. I'm back. I'm going to make a few videos, at least while I'm free around the Christmas time. Hopefully, when I get a new job, I'll still be free to get back into making these again. This video is going to be on the power rankings of football, basically meaning the Pro Football Weekly, who ranked the best in this week's play, etc., etc. Now my phone's obnoxiously slow because it sucks with our Wi-Fi. My phone's getting old now, so that might delay some things, but we'll get there. And then the rest of this video is going to be on the Phillies moves I think they should make, could make, and will make, and the moves they made so far and what I think about them. And Carter Hart, congratulations to the youngster, younger than even I am, winning his first NHL game. Probably going to get the nod again tonight, I would think. We will also have a look ahead to the Flyers to round out this video. Anyway, the guy that graded the best as an overall grade this week on Pro Football Weekly was the Texans wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. Obviously, the Eagles have to keep someone like him in check, just coming off of a big week. He has to really stay in check in order for the Eagles to have any chance of winning on Sunday and prolonging their 6 seed chances. Sam Hubbard came in second on the Bengals. Sam Hubbard had a great rating above a 90. Jabril Peppers had a solid rating, an 81.3. He had that big pick in the end zone on Denver. And then Hubbard's just been a very solid defensive player for the Bengals all year in their disappointing season. Had a great start, then just started losing way. Very disappointing what happened in Cincinnati. Eli Apple was one of the best graded, and so was Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett, we expect that from Eli Apple. You don't every week. He's been a guy that was supposed to be good out of the draft, hasn't lived up to it yet. Maybe this is a sign that he can start getting stuff going. He has had a solid year, but still hasn't lived up to what his prominence was and ranking was in the draft. Eric Harris played a great week with a 92 rating, a 91 for Geno Atkins, a 91.5 for Kevin Byrd, and Marlon Humphrey, the rookie, with a 91.3. He's been phenomenal. Good rookie. There's been a lot of great rookie performances this year, and that's great to see for the league. Every league, including the NHL, basketball, baseball, seems to have a great influx of young talent right now, and that just makes the sports so much more fun to watch and so much better to watch, because you have a longevity of very entertaining games to watch in the sports. Now moving on, Vita Vea and Puna Ford had great weeks, defensive players. So did Ali Marpet, the offensive guard for the Buccaneers. And those are the top few guys that had great weeks in football. And the best for last, Avonte Maddox had above a 90 rating, played great this week, 4th round pick. He actually has had a very solid rating winning games this year overall, especially for a 4th round pick. So that seems like a good late round pick for the Eagles, and kudos to them on that. Now moving on from football to the Phillies. The Phillies obviously traded for Jean Segura. They lost players like Justin Bour. They let go to the Angels, who's probably going to fit in very nicely and better with that team than he would with us anyway. And Jean Segura is one of the best hitting shortstops in the league. He's a very good fielder. And he can also play second and third. So if you do bring in a guy like Machado and he's so stone cold on short, you might be able to get Segura to move to second or third. There's also that option. And then obviously the Phillies in left field brought in Bryce Harper. That would be amazing if they brought in Bryce Harper. That's what we're about to get to, talking about if they should bring in Bryce Harper. Brought in Andrew McCutchen, who is a career winner, just a guy that goes out there, gives 110% every at-bat. He's never going to give up on an at-bat. He's never going to give up on running to the bases. He is an all-out go-getter. And yes, his stats have declined in recent years. We got to remember like many people have cited, what his stats are declining from. They're declining from an astronomical figure. This is like when we're going to be talking about Mike Trout 8-10 years from now. Well, it's like, oh, well, Mike Trout's only hitting 275 with 30 home runs. That's not that great of a season. And then you're looking at people going, yeah, well, most people can't hit like that. And that's just because he's Mike Trout and he's supposed to do far better than even that. So people, when they decline and they still hit in the 260s, 270s, even the 250s would drive in a lot, that's not bad. It's just you got to think of what they're declining from. They're declining from such an astronomical figure that people kind of skew it and make it seem like they're not a good ball player anymore when that's not even remotely close to being true. And McCutcheon's still a great ball player, a great winner, and going to fit in very well with the Phillies, and I think have great hitting statistics and Citizens because he plays well to that park, as does Gene Segura. So great pickup on there. And then Juan Nicasio, don't sleep on him. He is a very good relief pitcher that's really going to help the bullpen that did not help the Phillies win some close games last year at certain points. Many points, actually. And then, real quick, Bryce Harper or Machado? What should we do? Harper or Machado? Apparently, Rhys Hoskins has been in a lot of talks with Harper about the city, what it means to play in Philly, how the city is, what you do in the city on your free time, etc., etc. Those both dudes have the same agent in Scott Boras, and he confirmed they've been in contact with each other. I think Harper, being the Phillies really have possibly wanting to move on from Herrera still. Nobody knows what's going on there. You got McCutcheon in left now. You got Williams in the outfield. You got Quinn, who, if he stays healthy, is a good base stealer, a great on-base guy. I think with the uncertainty you have in the outfield, because Odubel has that great peak. Glenn Talk hinted at it on MLB Now the other day. Has a great peak in a season, but then he has that downcline. He's inconsistent, but overall his numbers tend to be okay at the end of the season. But he has those ups and those downs. It's like a roller coaster sometimes with Odubel. So no one knows what they want to do with him. I think Harper might actually fit into the Phillies better because they have a lot of outfielders, but they don't have a destined starter other than Kutch in my eyes. Right now, I don't even think Odubel's a destined starter at this point because there's been many talks about Quinn starting in center, Williams starting in center, but I don't think that's a good idea. Or putting Kutch back in center, I don't know if that's a great idea for defensive metrics either. But there's already been talks about different things happening at center, which leads me to think Odubel's not the most respected guy, most sought-after person to keep in the lineup in our organization right now. I think Harper might fit in better because, one, Williams, I don't think is really ready to play those 150, like those almost every game in the season yet. I think he's going to be a great ball player, but I think he's better off playing near the 100-game plateau at this point and filling in for everybody when they need rest. And he can play all outfield positions. He's better in the corners. You can throw him in center, though. He has speed, and he needs to work on his fielding, which they said he's been doing a lot in the offseason, so that's very helpful. I just think Harper might fit in better with the uncertainty in the outfield, where you kind of have a lot more certainty with the Phillies in the infield other than at third base, which is the position you would like Machado to play if he comes in. So Machado fits well with the Phillies if he's not a hard ass and will actually play third because his defensive metrics are much better at third than it is at short, and he lets Segura play short. But if he wants to be a pain in the ass and go through that whole personality mojo that Machado goes through, I think Harper might fit better for the Phillies. That's just my take. Everybody else can have their own, but that's just mine. Moving on to the Flyers, we're going to give a quick look ahead to the Fly guys tonight. Carter Hart, I would have to imagine, after having a great first start, will play in this game. I can't think that they wouldn't put Carter Hart in this game. Will kind of surprise me. But you never know. There we go. Couldn't open the notes thing I took on it. The Predators are 22-11-2. They're one of the better teams in the league, coached by former Flyers coach Peter Laviolette. Flyers are bouncing back off of one of the best games I've seen them play in a while. Overall, solid team performance. Let a guy in the center of the ice again to score. And Sholowski, I'm pretty sure, is the defenseman that scored for Detroit. So you still got to guard the center of the ice better, but either way, we're showing good things. And yes, it says Carter Hart will make a second consecutive start. So good for him. Look for him to rebuild off that. This is a big test for the kid. Nashville is one of the best teams in the league. Detroit is a middle-of-the-road team. So a huge test for the kid. He made 20 saves in a 3-2 win. And now, I think both of the goals, but the one goal he had no shot at saving. When the defenseman came in the middle, he sniped it. Players to watch are definitely Pekka Rinne. You need to get a lot of people in front of the net on him. Pekka's coming back this year. Pekka's back in full form at the old Pekka this year. He leads the NHL in freaking goals against average. The dude's 35-36. He's not having any trouble aging wonderfully. So he's doing great this year with a .926 save percentage as well in his past 19 games. And then Claude Giroux has 4 goals and 14 assists in his past 13. G's been doing it all year. And I think the Flyers are a team that sometimes need to simplify things more. They seem very erratic on the ice, especially under Hackstall. They seemed a lot better last game. And Sanheim, I like Scott Gordon already in his first game because Dave Hackstall doesn't trust people enough. That's a problem I saw with him. I like the dude. I like that he came from college. I like that he gave us 2 playoff runs. Voracek echoed it, but it's time to move on. It's business when this happens. But Hackstall did not have enough trust in people. For example, Sanheim minutes got dropped a lot at the end of the games. He played a lot at the end of the game under Gordon. He put a lot of trust in him being a guy that mentored him and coached him in the Phantoms all the way up to where he's at now. Because he's been the Phantoms coach the past 4 years. So I really like that, and Sanheim stepped up and made great defensive plays. It adds more confidence in for the guy. I also think you might see Robert Hagg get more playing time under someone like Scott Gordon, because I think Scott Gordon, well, obviously he's great with the young guys. He was the Phantoms coach for 4 years and did many great things for them in the minors. And I personally think that Scott Gordon is a better coach for the team than we currently have because we have a mixture of young and old. And I think from being a former NHL coach, he has experience at coaching the old. And he also obviously is great at mentoring the young along. I think this is going to be a great test for the Flyers under their new coach, under their new goalie tonight. Let's go Flyers. Let's win this game. Let's go Eagles on Sunday. I'll have a video for that. Probably Saturday, if not Sunday before the game. We'll see you on that. And I'll have more videos in the coming days. Peace out, everybody. It was nice doing a video again. Have a great day. Have a happy holidays. Enjoy the season. If you like rain, enjoy the rain. I don't very much, but you never know. Some people do. Peace out, everybody.